Right, welcome to the action in Trnava. If you have been watching the previous game, unfortunately, we have missed the Callahan score, but this is going to be a very hot match and a very possible Callahans in this match as well, where we are seeing East Bloc taking on Troubles. East Bloc, of course, a team from Czech Republic, and Troubles team from Poland. Very, very exciting matchup. Both of these teams are very high in the rankings of the European club championships, club season. So this is probably, I would not be surprised if we are going to see these two teams somewhere in the semi-final stage, or maybe even in the final stage. It is very possible because these two teams are powerhouses of the Polish and Czech Ultimate. An exciting matchup. Both of these teams are sitting in the top 10 of the rankings right now. I think Troubles are just a little bit higher. They are taking the 6th positions at the moment, just behind Groot, and Troubles are in the 7th position. And yeah, this is going to be a very hot match. If you ever tried to check the matchup tool in the ranking system, the expected score for this match is a draw. Considering their high position in the standings and this expected outcome, this should be a very hot and very exciting match, very active, and we see an unfortunate turnover on the field past the beating offensive player, and now we see the disc being worked up back on the field, but there is a call on the field. I am trying to bring you the correct colors of the teams just to avoid any confusion. I'm pretty sure that Troubles are in dark, and East Bloc are in white, and a long shot from East Bloc gets them the first point of this game. Great start, very nice, long shot, nice and precise pass. Yes, absolutely right that Troubles are in dark and East Bloc are in white. Very exciting game, very excited to commentate on these two powerhouses of Ultimate, of the European Ultimate, bringing to you on the European EUCS live, powered by AI cameras. Great to see some additional streams. We've got streams and live games for you left, right, and center. I think there are 5 different events that you can watch live. Of course, not all of the games are being streamed, but there are many very interesting games that are going to be streamed. And of course, we are going to bring you the finals from almost all of the summer tour locations. This is going to be an exciting weekend of Ultimate, and of course we will know after this weekend who is in and who is out. So if you have been watching the In or Out show presented by Ravi Vasudevan, it's always interesting to see how is the ranking stands and how does it all changes weekend by weekend after big events. But this particular weekend is important because the wildcards are going to be awarded and the final standings in the ranking is going to be known. And we see an unfortunate drop. I think it just bounced off the hands of the player on the Trouble squad, and that gives another opportunity for a break for East Bloc, and they are still being pressured by Troubles. They have to go back a little bit with the disc on the field, but now an unfortunate miscommunication there. That disc just sailed past the hands of number 74 of the East Bloc squad. That was Barbara Hrushakova. Now Troubles still looking for that first hold. Lots of defensive pressure under that reception over there. And good grab by Julia Kroll. But she can't really find anyone, needs to go up the line to the far sideline. Now jamming it on that sideline once again, getting really close to the end zone and to their first hold. Can't really find anything still counters rising. Lots of pressure, but that is still a good score. The Troubles are equalizing. The score is now 1-1. And nice, interesting start of this match. Pretty sure that the first score from East Block was a break. Unfortunately, I have no information if who started on offense and who started on defense, but I can tell you for sure that the first point of this game by East Block was assisted by Kurzova, and the goal was by Klusta. While the second point, East Block, Troubles, equalizer, Czeblitska to Julia Kroll for that 1-1 result at the moment. Yeah, we've got a very exciting event here in Trnava. Always nice to see different locations being elected for these stages of the club season. And East Block are starting their offense this time. Looks like Troubles are coming out with a bit of a zone. Want to stop these quick movements of the disc there, and yeah, it looks like they've been quite successful of pushing it back, but then a quick give and go actually moves the disc a little bit further up. It looks like a travel has been called. I guess it's a valid call, as some of the maybe she accelerated a little bit on the reception. That would be my perspective and the only merit of actually being able to call that travel. However, regardless, the disc went back. Ooh, nice, good find. I think the wing sagged off a little bit, so that opened an opportunity for that shot. Now on the sideline, and a scuba. Nice to see that. It looks like it is a little bit windy on the fields, but so scuba maybe is not the first choice and not the easiest throw to execute, but I'm sure that East Block do not have any problems with any selection of the throws on the field with a little bit of a breeze. Lots of passes have been made on the field. Not easy to move that disc around. See here, yeah, East Block are being pushed back slightly by that zone. Hadova could not find anything, only can go back. Lots of crashing by the East Block players, and now very visionary throw, I would say, but Hutsova did really well to hold on to this disc, and then a swing, and then a pass into the end zone for a score. Maslakova to Zaluska for that score. That is 2-1 to East Block, and that Troubles zone looked like it created quite some troubles for East Block. It was not very easy for them to work through that zone, but they figured it out pretty well. So 2-1. We're getting started here. So we've got a game to 15, of course. Only 17-minute game, so slightly shorter than the general with diff regulation time, but still it is widely accepted. Slightly shorter games to put a bit more action, of course, and to give everyone an opportunity, an equal opportunity to play. And of course, we are playing with the soft cap, so after the time is over, we're going to add 1 to the highest score, and we are going to play to that target. While troubles are fielding rolling disc, stopping it successfully, so a relatively short pull from East Block as a result of that. And yeah, troubles getting into the side, the attacking side, and that disc is bouncing off the hands of, I think it was number 52, if I'm not mistaken, on the trouble side, but or maybe 92. Kasinska, possibly, not entirely sure, but still, East Block have another opportunity for a break this time. Nice grab by Tlusta, moves it to the side, and oh no, that disc is sailing past the receiver, and I think also bounces off the hand slightly. So Troubles will have an opportunity to hold this time. Disc is now on that far side line, which is sometimes not very easy to see, so I would not be able to tell you who that is the disc, but a nice find and a good break there. Ooh, looks like she was not entirely ready for that disc, but still well held on to it. And Troubles are saving that possession and getting a point on the board. So it is now 2-2. Weronika Savchak to Lucina Podgorska with that score. 2-2, as expected. It's going to be a very, very closely and very tight match, I'm sure. And we see, I think the previous game ended on Callahan. We still see some of the uprising players filling up their water bottles before leaving the field, while that game has already started. Not entirely sure if there is a timeout called on the field. No, I think it's just a general huddle before the beginning of the point. Of course, both of these teams are looking to play in the finals of the European club season. Going to be, I'm sure it's going to be very, very exciting tournament. And we are just 1 month and 10 days away. So it's going to be from 27th of September. And of course, you will be able to watch all of these action here live on the European Ultimate Federation streams, in the lives, and discuss it all in the chat. In the chats. Get a subscription if you haven't yet. Very exciting to watch all of these games. And East Block, wow, that give and go with 3 people. So first 2 people and number 36 there is working really, really well. Looks like there was a bit of a call. Hadoa is having a discussion with her mark. Not entirely sure what the discussion is about. It all looked pretty good. Maybe in the pivot there was a bit of a contact, but yeah, East Block managed to walk almost the whole field with a bit of a give and go between the 3 players there. And yeah, maybe a mark. Oh yeah, I think there was probably a mark, and they are discussing if the stall count did go down, and I think it did. So I think the marker believes that it was sufficiently went down, and well held on by Haveltoa there, who managed to find her handler a little bit behind. Now the disc again, this quick give and go movement by East Block, really difficult to stop, of course. And a high disc. Looks like there've been a call on the field, as many players have stopped, except for the one who was actually running for the disc and was all alone in the end zone. Maybe there was a bit of a pick. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there was a foul. Not sure. It looks a little bit strange from my perspective, but regardless, of course, players on the field will figure out what's going on, what the call is, what's the resolution. I'm sure all of them know the rules really well. And number 44, unfortunately, let me see. I might find who that is. Yes, Aneshka Kotorbova is going to restart the play with the disc in her hands. She will need to do that again, as I still see that player all alone there in that corner. Yeah, now getting into the more correct position. Disc is checked in. Let's see. Kotorboa surveying her options, finding Zaluska, going back to Kotorboa, and all the way back for a super dumb pass under loads of pressure there. But Hutsova held on to this disc and unfortunately threw it into the ground and a little bit too low for her receiver further. So Troubles with an opportunity to get a break in this game. Nice long shot over there by Zatkovska, and that was well handled in the end zone, of course, by her teammate. Is there a stoppage though? Very interesting. No stoppage. All good. It is a break for Trouble, so Lechkovska to Vidrovska for that break. So Troubles first break in this game. I'm sure East Bloc are going to be looking to equalize that. And there is still a question, actually. Oh yeah, that's true. So basically, with that, Troubles are getting the break back at the moment, as of course East Bloc have started with a break of their own. So in a way, we are now equal. And apologies for some of the shaky footage at the moment, as our camera is being brought back a little bit higher for a slightly better view. I'm sure we will all appreciate a slightly bigger field of vision and a slightly higher one, as we see the quick movement once again by East Bloc initiation. Very, very quick give and goes, and a long shot. See if that's good. Oh, that is perfect. That's not good. That's perfect. Kotorboa, once again, shooting deep. She is a handler of the choice for the Czech Republic squad for East Bloc, and she is putting that long, high disc to perfection to Shvetova for an equalizer. We are now 3-3, basically virtually on serve. Exciting match. Very excited to watch the rest of that, of course. And great to see. Would love to see, of course, some of you who are watching. I'm sure lots of people are watching that match. Jump in the chats. Tell us what you think. Tell us what do you think about the conditions. Tell us what do you know about the players. If you want to share some interesting details, always great to have that. Very interesting, as both Troubles and East Bloc are finding themselves pretty high in the ranking. I'm looking at the history, And I'm sure that both of these squads know about each other pretty well, but they have not played in this season up until this point. And if I look at the games and I'm looking at the mutual opponents, they do not have any. So that's very interesting and very unexpected. Troubles seem to have slightly high highs and lower lows, while East Block is just, I don't know. East Block had more games that are counting in the ratings, but Troubles, yeah, they've had very big wins and quite big losses. And East Block, I think maybe the fact that they have played more ranked matches is showing, as they are getting their first break and they are now getting a run through defense to get a break to themselves once again. So this should be really, really interesting. Long shot on the line. No, unfortunately, Tlusta could not trail that. It was a very difficult disc to grab, even for her. She's, of course, great player, very well known name in the Ultimate community. Always nice to watch her play. Troubles. Banbula Duda is going to pick up the disc. Gonna initiate. Fortunately, some of the numbers are quite difficult to see. But doing your best to bring the best quality of the Ultimate in here. And disc is now on the far sideline. Looks like there's no discussion. Finds her handler. Going slightly backwards, but now moving forwards, maybe 5 meters outside of the end zone. Whoa, that was a difficult disc to grab. But Yakov, she managed to hold on to it, and now the disc is in the middle, going backwards slightly once again. Can't really find anything in the end zone. I mean, to be honest, I don't really see many options in the end zone, but I think they just kept it nice and clean to let one player into the end zone for a score. And Magdalena Meller found her option in Marika Lomnicka for the score. So another hold. Troubles, as they have started on offense, are leading this game 4-3. But East Block have shown in the first point that they are able to generate breaks. Well, Trouble actually did the same too. So for East Block, first they need to hold before they can break. And for Troubles, it is an opportunity to generate a turnover and try to score a break in this game. What's great about the ranking tool that I've been talking about, I really like playing with it. You probably can hear that. You can see all of their games. So Troubles played Jinx Midnight and they won 15-10 against them. So this is their highest high because I think Jinx are first or the second in the rankings. Then they played Fabulous and it was a 13-11 win. Once again, Fabulous, 11-10 win. So that's why it's not very highly ranked. Trouble 3SB lost 7-12, and the lowest loss for Troubles was against Ketchup 6-15. Oh, that is very interesting. And the East Block hanging on to this disc for dear life. Havel Salah, I think through the hands of the defender, managed to hold on to this disc. And East Block are now marching, and a hammer to Havel Salah, and a great score there. Havel Salah managing to hold on to this disc not once but twice, and not an easy reception for sure with that hammer, but well done to East Block holding on to their offense. So now East Block, opportunity for a break. Troubles need to hold if they want to keep this game level. As you can see on your screens with the staff and a very, very bright scoreboard, the score is 4-4. We are all tied up. East Block, though, I can tell you their story and their ranked matches so far. East Block played BFD Shout and won 15-3. Then they played Jet Set Love. The result was a win, so 15-10 score. They played them twice, apparently, so 15-10 and 15-11. East Block Iceni, 14-12. So these are the ones that counted and pulled them higher in the ranking. And the ones that actually dragged them down were a loss to Yaka, 8-15, and a loss to Mooncup, also 8-15. It all, of course, depends on the relative positions in the ranking system. So that's how East Block got maybe slightly higher, maybe because they have slightly more games. They have 6 games to their names, and Trouble have 5 only before the start of this tournament. But of course, both of these teams will be comfortably in. They will get their 10 required games, as they will both have 6 games at this event. I think they are playing their first, it's not their first games at this event already. And as Troubles are moving that disc now to the other sideline, so they are moving it from side to side really, really nicely. Troubles now, Lomnitska finding her. Ooh, good grab. And everybody signaling that that disc was in. It was in my opinion as well. And now literally on the doorstep of the end zone of East Block. But East Block are still in their formation. And that was a little bit of a hospital pass. But no call is made. So East Block are going to try to move that disc back nice and quickly. As the Troubles, their defense has sagged off a little bit, but great bids there in the end zone. Unfortunately, we couldn't really grab that, but that disc hit the ground for a turnover, so Troubles will have another opportunity to hold. Very active mark there, and need to go backwards into their own end zone. Not a very good place for you. Always very difficult to get out of there. And yeah, you can see from the sideline the calls for Callahan territory. But Troubles are moving quite comfortably and now getting out with a nice leading pass out of there. But unfortunately, there are no continuation options, and as everyone are quite close to the disc, I would say, as no options in the deep space are generated. Run through. Looks like she has actually read that better than the offensive player, but then jacked it into the end zone, and maybe the player was not running as fast as was expected, but I think there was a foul on the throw. It looks like, as the disc is going back, and maybe that was the reason why the player wasn't running as fast, as she maybe have heard the call of a foul. So the disc is going to go back to the thrower. Is block now walking the disc in. They tried on one side. This time they have decided to move the disc all the way to the near sideline and get it into the end zone. That looked really nice and very efficient. Hodachawa to Mahtaloa for that score. So is block once again a break. They've got a break in the beginning of the game. Troubles took it back. Is block getting one in, and we hear, of course, the ambient noise and a loud voice of the timekeepers, 2 minutes to halftime. So we're probably gonna play this point, and then it might be half at 6 or 7, depends on who scores the next point. Shortish pull, roller pull from East Block, getting just past the half-field mark. And yeah, judging by the t-shirts, there is a bit of a one-sided win situation there. Doesn't look to be very strong or very gusty wind, but still I'm sure it might affect slightly other players. And the East Block, run through block once again from them. But looks like that was given, yeah, it was given right back to Troubles. So Kroll unfortunately threw it into the East Block player, literally into her hands. But then they managed to get it back, and this time, oh no, great bid. But unfortunately, that has bounced out of the outstretched hand of the Troubles player. I will do my best, of course, to bring you her name and give you the shout out, because that was very, very great athletic bid of a very difficult disc. It was most likely either, no, I would not make assumptions. I will tell you later who was that. But East Block, another break opportunity for them. Long cut was available, but the shot was not taken. This time it is taken, and almost assisted by the defender. But Kutsoa managed to hold on to it, and then a quick pass to Lichocka. Now slightly more settled in, so more movement around the handlers. Makhtalova now with the disc. Excuse me, Hochlova with the disc. Now gets it to Kurzova. Kurzova, nice inside flick there. And now into the end zone for 6-4 lead. Oof, that was a very, very quick point. And a very important point, I think, for East Block. Now they have a little bit of a breathing space there. And as the halftime was called during this point, I think we play another point. So it's going to be half at 7. Half at 7, most likely. So Tlusta sent it to Barborikova for the score. And for that second break in a row, third break of the game for East Block. I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout called by Troubles, but I think they are not flustered, and they don't think that they are in trouble just yet. They probably want to figure out how to put that East Block side in trouble rather than be in trouble themselves. Talking about this particular event, I can tell you there is only one pool in this event for women. So there are 6 teams. Every team is going to play 5 games, and then everybody will continue to the placement games. And the way it's going to work, the first will play second, third will play fourth, fifth will play sixth. So the winners will continue further, of course. and get into, of course, the finals. As of course, it's all very important here. Ooh, nice, held on to the disc. Number 77, Julia Kroll. Not a very easy reception, very high for her. Couldn't grab it on the first asking, but then still managed to hold on to this disc. Disc is still moving around the back of the end zone, still trying to find options to get it into the end zone, but can't really do it. So on the sideline, going backwards, probably need to go backwards again. Lots of faking, of course, lots of pivoting, but now Zachkowska. Disc is with her once again, and now she finds the end zone with her teammate. Zachkowska to Czeblicka for that hold. So we are still in this half, as nobody scored 7 points yet. The score is now 6-5 in favor of East Block, of course. And so far, East Block has played Box Vienna Ultimate with a result of 59. They won that game quite comfortably. And it is the first game for Troubles. Yes, it is their first game. They have not had a game yet. Unfortunately, we are experiencing some technical difficulties. Hopefully, we will be back with you very soon. That would be probably a good time to get yourself a coffee. Maybe it is a bit of a preliminary halftime break. But yeah, hopefully we will be back with you soon. Of course, we don't want to miss a single point of this action, but maybe a good time to play around with the ranking app that has been introduced for this year. So it is at ranking.ultimatefederation.eu. You can play there with all the divisions and see all of the teams who are currently in contention. And of course, the top 16 is going to go to the final, which is going to be played in Odense, if I remember right, in Belgium. I'm sure about Belgium, not entirely sure about the location in Belgium, as of course, Belgium is becoming such a big, important place for Ultimate. We all know exciting tournaments there and exciting teams that, of course, come out of Belgium. And unfortunately, as we are fixing the stream, I will do my best to bring you the updates of the score. You are more than welcome, of course, to have a look at that, at the results on eucs-schedule.ultimatefederation.eu. You can choose any of the events in the summer tour. You can have a look at all of the scores and all of the standings and what's going on and who is in contention of winning this golden wildcard that will guarantee you a path to the finals, of course. Meanwhile, East Block are managing to win the first half of the game with a clean hold. So we've got 7 for East Block and 5 to Troubles, as it was half at 7 because of the time. East Block are winning that first half of the game. Hoping that we're going to bring you the live action in a few minutes. We are working on it very hard. Of course, we know that all the games are exciting. Some are more exciting than others, and I would consider that this particular one is quite an exciting game. So, of course, we are working hard to bring you the live action and get it back on your screens. Apologies for that. If you're interested, I can have a look at what's going on and all the live action which is happening right now. In Trnava, where we are watching that particular game, at the moment we've got quite a lot of interesting games. So we've got 3 ongoing games. Trouble is Block, the one that we are talking about, of course, on your screens. 3SB is playing Box Vienna Ultimate. So once again, Czech Republic and Austria. 3SB have a very, very comfortable lead, 8-3 at the moment. And oh no, that is probably not something that you would want to see. Fabulous, or Fab, Flying Angels Burn, are playing Out Sisters right now. And I think it is the home event for Out Sisters. And the score at the moment is 9-0, not in the favor of the home team, unfortunately. It's been all Fab. Excuse my pun. But yes, unfortunately, Out Sisters, at least from what I can see, have not scored a single goal at the moment, which is probably quite painful for them. Strange to see that. Interesting. I'm not entirely sure if there is a problem with the scheduling system, but I think Out Sisters have already played the first game. Yeah, they did, against Troubles, actually. Strangely enough, I can't really see the roster on the live game, but regardless, I'm pretty sure that the score is correct, and Fabulous are in fact leading Out Sisters 10-0. In our game that we are, of course, all excited about, of Troubles East Block, we are still discussing who is going to get the either 8 or 6 point. No updates so far, and unfortunately, no updates on the stream just yet, but we are working hard to bring the action back to you. In other live games at the moment, we've got Warsaw, where we've got mixed division playing right now. At the moment, the games that are going on right now, the live games, are Malmö against Axley from Poland. Malmö, of course, from Sweden, 6-3. Malmö is winning that, and Out from Hungary and Pelt are all tied up at 7. So Galaxy Point, exciting, very exciting, and yay, we've got our stream. Nice. Back to the live action, of course, on your screens, where it looks like there's been a discussion, but the disc is checked back in, and from what I can see, East Block are looking at a hold situation, because of course they started their first point on defense but managed to get a break out of it. So perfect situation for them, get a first break and then score the last point and get the offense once again. So they are doing exactly what is, of course, a better situation for them. But yeah, Shvetsova was the disc, playing a bit of a catch with her teammate there, and now disc is moving all the way to the far sideline. But No scoring pass just yet. Still need to move that disc around, and this time squeezes it in a high disc with an angle, but the defender was closer, and I think the defender got a slightly better read on that disc and managed to get it and knock it away from the offensive player and to get an opportunity for a break, of course, for troubles. Wouldn't that be exciting? Both of the teams are starting with a break on the first point, but not just yet. The disc is bouncing off the hands of number 17, Kozlovska. That is giving an opportunity for East Block once again to score a hold, to get a hold. Maslakova initiating and going forward, and yeah, after a few more passes, we've got another score for East Block. Exciting game, very exciting game, absolutely. Mashkova to Haveltsova for the 8-5 score. Let us know, what do you think about this game? Let us know about the upsetting result of Fabulous against our sisters. Of course, tell us in the chat, or if you want, you can go ahead and stay with us. A great game, of course, on our hands here. Always exciting to see these interesting games, and yeah, so close in the rankings. The expected result, like I said, was a draw, and they are occupying 6th and 7th position in the rankings. So very exciting, very close game, always very nice. Troubles once again going with their offense and trying to find a hold before they could get a break back, or maybe 2 or maybe 3. Nice high release, but oh no, unfortunately that was misread by the receiver over there. I really like the look, I really like that release by Zatskowska, but unfortunately her receiver has not realized where this disc is going and what is the rotation. I think that was a lefty release, if I remember correctly. That was quite interesting. So I think she misread that. Ooh, the long shot was wound up, but the defender jumped right in front and closed it. So good work by the defense. East Block are counter-attacking. Valterova, yeah, creating all sorts of problems for the mark with a big wingspan. And now Chodachova with the disc finds her teammate getting close. I think, wow, East Block are really interesting strategy. They are keeping only 1 or maybe 2 people in the end zone, but that works for them really well. And this give and go, great, really, really great. Very exciting to see that for that 9th point of the game. She managed to just hold on to this disc, did Vavrova, and assisted by Valterova for that 9 score on the Troubles side. Sorry, excuse me, that was of course East Block. So East Block is in a commanding lead. And I am not surprised to see a timeout being called by Troubles on the fields. Of course, when you are 4 points down on your probably nearest opponent, I would say, looking at the rankings once again, I think they are their nearest opponents, literally, in all senses. If I look at the women's division, yeah, the difference between East Block and Rut is actually pretty high. So it's more than 100 points. I think it's like more than 150 points. Troubles to Moon Cup, approximately 40 points or so. So the difference between Ace Block and Troubles is only 17 points. Ranking points, of course, not the plate points, but you can just see how closely these two teams are matched. Of course, different rosters, but no more changes in rosters. So all the rosters are now locked up. No more movements, of course. If somebody's getting injured, which I really hope nobody's getting injured ever playing Ultimate, something that we never want to see. But of course, yes, this is probably the only changes, and yeah, no more additions, no more moves from one team to another.
Najväčšou témou bolo, že sa siamo proprio stani vykopať bazén.
Timeout is over. We see the teams getting ready for the next point. And I'm curious if this is still the case. But Out Sisters managing to score 1 point against Fabulous, so it is now 11-1. Box Vienna are down on 3SB 5-10, and Troubles is block 5-9, as you can see that on your screens, of course. Troubles, difficult grab, very close to the ground. Moving it, but this time it looks like, yeah, that wind is actually blowing from right to left on your screen, and that is pushing these discs a little bit down when they don't have enough spin or enough speed on them. And East Block now going the other way. Is she gonna lay out? No, unfortunately not. That disc is going to the ground, but that will give a long field to work with to Troubles. So it might be not the easiest thing for them to do, but of course we wish them well, and we wish to have a nice and close game, of course, and we wish them a couple of breaks in order to make it just a little bit more exciting here. Ooh, that was very close by the East Block player, Krushakoa. She was very close there, but regardless, East Block managing to get an interception defense, but looks like a few things are going to be discussed, I think, between Krushakoa and the player marking her on the right side of your screens, of course. The direction in which East Block is going for the score. Tlustau is the disc, finds her teammate on the far sideline. She's surveying her options and finally finds Tlustau once again. Gets it to the near sideline, closer to the middle of the disc, and now disc is being moved really fast and really close to the end zone. I think just on the doorstep. Well, now going slightly backwards, and oof, that was a laser in the hands, and no wonder it bounced off the hands. But unfortunately, I think the receiver there on the Trouble side could not see where the disc is going, and was not able to react quickly enough to get it. So East Block moving backwards, but they seem to be quite comfortable of doing that. And now Tlusta all alone in the end zone, stand still, easy catch, easy score, easy break for East Block. Of course, it only looked easy, but not easy at all, I'm sure. Barborikova there with that assist, finding Tlusta all alone, running into the end zone for a score. And we are now 5-10, so East Block doubling up on Troubles. Will be very interesting to see, of course, all of the permutations of the games. And if you watched the previous in or out shows, hosted by Ravi Vasudevan, the mastermind behind the ranking system. As far as I know, as far as I remember, he mentioned that he will try to do a very quick stream on Saturday and to see what is happening with the almighty algorithm and who is in basically and who is out, who still need to play their hearts out, or who can maybe relax a little bit and not worry about these wild cards being awarded to the teams who are maybe a little bit at the bottom and can jump up. So it's going to be interesting how this particular game is going to change the whole algorithm because once again, like I said, these two teams are very closely matched up. And yeah, it should be a draw, but it turns into a little bit of a blowout, if I can say that. So it's 5-10 already. We'll see. Of course, maybe troubles or maybe a little bit of nerves. And yeah, but no, throwing into the cup is not going to help to calm down the nerves. And with Tlusta behind the disc right now, it's not going to be easy. Of course, Ace Block, of course, yeah, still they need to bring that in, but if they will, might be quite difficult to get out of there for troubles. But Tlusta, no problem, absolutely no problem for her. Finds the disc and then finds Vavrova in the end zone with the set disc for 11-5 score. Unsurprising, of course, that Tlusta is leading the stats with 2 assists and 2 goals, of course, right now for East Block. Haveltsova, 2 goals for her. Vavrova, 2 goals for her. And Bobrikova, 1 assist and 1 goal. So East Block are leading the stats at the moment. Chablitska, on the other side, on troubles, have 1 assist and 1 goal to her name. Zatskovska got 2 assists so far. And there are a few more players who've got either a goal or an assist. But unsurprising to see another timeout being called by troubles on the field because it's been all East Block in the second half. Troubles have not scored a single point in the second half yet, while being quite well and staying fairly level in the first half. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you with a bit of an entertainment there of a couple of timekeepers and staff members throwing the disc around, and our video cameras are following the disc like a good trained AI system. Got approximately 8 minutes left on the clock before the end of the game. It might be slightly delayed as the previous game has finished a few minutes late. As you probably heard, it ended with on a universe point with a Callahan universe point. Can you believe that? Exciting stuff, of course. But we will see. Maybe it will not be a universe point, but it will be an exciting finish of the game nonetheless. I'm sure that Troubles will do their best to bring that game back and get a few breaks back to themselves, of course. Oh, I hope that the staff members running barefoot on the field are not going to injure themselves. That would be an exciting, no, not exciting injury. Absolutely not. No, I don't wish anyone to get injured. Never. Let's see. Let's look at the other games. Oh wow, Box is coming back on 3SB. It is now 7-10 Fabulous Outsitters. Looks like this game is almost done. It's 13-1. I'm sorry, Outsisters. It's 13-1 at the moment. So Fabulous are taking a commanding lead, but it might be a blowout. I think Fabulous have enough games to get a couple of blowouts, so not to get their ratings too high, unfairly high. And I'm not sure if Outsisters are even in the contention of getting into the 16 games. I have not really seen them playing this season or haven't really heard their names too much. Can have a look. I might be completely mistaken, and I might get yelled at for that. Who knows? Hopefully not. Hopefully nobody's gonna yell at me. Yeah, I do not see actually any ranked games for Outsisters right now. Yeah, but Block seemingly got a turnover, out of troubles, as Troubles, I think, worked the disc all the way up to the attacking end zone, and then unfortunately there was a throwaway. I'm sure you've seen that all here on our live streams, and Block are now looking for options, moving backwards slightly, but still mostly going forwards. Troubles are trying to put some pressure on Block with a zone, but that proves to be effective. So Troubles are earning that disc back with a slight miscommunication and just a drop, unfortunately, by Block. And Troubles managing to finally find a hold for 6-11 at the moment result. Another point, and we will need to get Stefan Rapasso a Slurpee. But for now, still 6-11. Czeblitska was the assist to Popek for the score. Back to live action on your screen. It's like a slightly longer preparation for the pull, but I'm sure that Troubles were discussing how are they going to approach that offense, that relentless offense of Block, and looks like they've set up a zone, but looks like they have forgotten about one of the players in that corner of the end zone, Hutsoa, who managed to find her teammate very quickly. And that pass, pinpoint pass to Hutsoa was beautiful. Very nice pass that opened up the whole field for the East Block offense. And that offense maybe lasted 30 seconds. Yeah, that was very quick. So 12-6 is the result. No Slurpees for anyone, unfortunately. Well, or fortunately, I don't know. Depends on if you're a fan of a Slurpee. So 6-12 for us. 2 minutes left. I've heard there was a announcement on the field by the scorekeeper, timekeeper. But of course, it doesn't mean that we're going to finish the game in 2 minutes. No, in 2 minutes, the time will be over, but the game will not be over. Unless we reach 15 points before that, but I don't see that happening in 2 minutes. So most probably it's going to be a game either to 13 or to 14. I would think it's going to be a game to 13. Once again, a rolling pull from East Block. Troubles are stopping that quite quickly. Troubles, tight mark on that receiver by Tlusta. Tlusta is running that defense really hard, of course. She's a very, very quick player. Can get to many difficult discs, certainly. Kroll, of course, very well-known player. Quite tall, so can pluck this disc out of the sky, and now being a real threat in the end zone, but unfortunately no passes coming towards her. This time one does, and for a score. I'm pretty sure that it was actually Julia Kroll was the scorer. Yes, it was assisted by Banbula Duda. And 1 minute left on the field. Thank you very much. The figure of the timekeeper in the staff shirt. Would not be surprised if maybe even a player, who knows. Tell me who that is. He looks to be known on the fields. 1 minute left, so still could be a game to 13 or to 14, depends of course on what the next point is going to bring. We give you a very quick update. Looks like a timeout also has been called, and we see once again the staff members are entertaining us. Let me give you a quick update on the other game. So Fabulous Out Sisters looks like a very long point, so it's 13-1 still, and it's been a really, really long point at the moment there for them. Good to see Out Sisters scoring 1 point. Box Vienna against 3SB are going 8-12. Also some long points there on that side. And Troubles East Block, what we are watching right now here, together is 7-12. Next on this particular stream, we're going to watch Terrible Monkeys against Uprising. Uprising, of course, in the previous game, getting a Callahan in the Universe point against Armada. So they will be playing Terrible Monkeys. And on some other streams, I can actually tell you what's on other streams. On the Hailbron stream, we're gonna have Wall City Heidi's. Exciting game. No, apologies, that is right now. Yeah, we're gonna have Bats Kid Sieben Schwaben. And on Chambéry, we're gonna have Chat Set against Sick in the women's division. Back to this women's division and Trnava, where East Block are looking to finish this point and get another one and get to the cap. So number 1, Zaluska picked up the disc, started a quick movement, finds the disc again, playing a bit of a give and go with her teammates. So this handler set is working really well for them. Looks like they've been practicing this give and go drills quite a few times, so it is working really well for them. Mashkova is the disc now. Can't really find anything, needs to go back. Shvetsova as well, working the disc there, a great bit by Troubles player there, and ooh, that looked to be, oh no, that was that was slightly undercooked, if I can say that, and that this did not get to the intended receiver there in the end zone. So Troubles have an opportunity of getting a break, and if they do, we're gonna play a game to 13. If they don't, and East Block will get this disc back, we'll play a game to 14 points. And the score is now 12-7, just to remind you. Troubles. Podgorska and Piankowska are moving the disc around the back for now. Can't really find any cuts, any advancing cuts. This one goes to the side a little bit. So Podgorska once again was with the disc and now moved it backwards again. And yeah, this pressure of East block is not letting Troubles anywhere close to the halfway point. They're still stuck on their own brick side. And I think that was a very still count situation. East block, interception defense. Zaluska with the disc, picked it up very quickly. Now Kotrboa with the disc, once again surveying her options, can't really find anything. Oof, great bid, and what? What? Did she throw it while lying down? That is core. That is not an easy thing to do. You might think that it is easy, but no. Normally you would need some more body rotation, and while you're lying down almost on your stomach, that's not an easy thing to do. Now, of course, she had seen an opportunity, most probably in the end zone, and just decided to take it. So Hadoa to Kotroboa for that score for 13-7. Game 2-14, you probably heard it as well in the ambient noise. Announced by our scorekeepers. So one more point for East block and 7 more points for Troubles if they want to win this game. I'm sure they do, but I'm also sure that it's not going to be easy for them, unfortunately.
Stop the play!
East block, once again, that rolling pull to Troubles. Troubles are going to pick up and probably going to get trapped on that sideline very quickly by the stifling East block defense. But the handler there on the far sideline finds a channel, gets it out and moving it out slightly, so slightly poachy defense. I think whatever they did previously worked a little bit better as the East block, Troubles were finding quite easy passes, but unfortunately that pass was imprecise and it was dropped by the receiver, and looks like that one was dropped as well, but no, there is a discussion that there was a foul, so the disc was actually, the hand was hit, and because of that, that disc was not received properly, and it's like it was accepted. So now very quick movement once again by East block. They really like to move that disc really nice and quickly, and Blue Star once again running away into the deep space. Quick give and go. There was a no rush call from there, but regardless of that particular call, that disc moved really fast for a 14-7 finish in favor of East block. So once again, the almighty algorithm was wrong. It is not a draw. It is not a universe point game, just like the previous one that I was commentating, which was in Warsaw, which was Malmö against Tartu. So yes, the gap is much bigger this time. So Troubles is probably going to drop in the rankings. I'm not sure how significantly. Hopefully they're still in the top 16s, and I think East block is going to go pretty high in the rankings. I'm going to take a very quick break, and I'm going to be back with you with the next game on the same pitch. So don't go anywhere if you want to stay with me and listen to my narration of the next game. It's going to be Terrible Monkeys against Uprising Ultimate. Don't go anywhere, and I'll be with you in a couple minutes.